Your body is a gatekeeper to your soul. And this is what these archetypes is showing us, that the Kundalini must rise out of the body. The Kundalini got to pass up the spinal column to get to pineal, where God met Jacob at. So you can't get to the Father without going through Jacob's ladder or passing through the spinal column. And that's what Jesus is personifying, the Kundalini. That's what this archetype is personifying. Your consciousness passing through your ego body, which is the flesh. And you can't get to the Most High God without being born again through Christ, which is the lower God, the lower body. Christ was never a savior. Christ was an archetype and a symbol to teach you about being born again through your lower versions. Okay? So no one can get to heaven without climbing from hell or being born again through their lower versions of themselves, mastering those. This is a classroom, and your body is the class. It is a lower version of yourself that your soul don't like. And until you conform your body to the will of God, which is your soul, and tame your monster, your avatar here, you didn't pass the class. You didn't beat up Satan, so now you got to come back. This was what resisting temptation was all about. It was about having the ability to make decisions based upon what my soul want to do versus what my body want to do. Some of y'all will not accomplish what you want to accomplish, not because, again, there's an evil force picking on us, which I just mentioned. Because guess what? Even though that's true, Sanchez still accomplished his mission in life. Everybody ain't got to be a doggone billionaire to be successful and accomplished. That's how they got y'all thinking. You see what I'm saying? If you're proud of your actions, you are accomplished. Who cares if the next man ain't proud? You happy with where you at and what you've done thus far? Cool. You're manifesting your will. That's something to be proud of. Check this out, right? Some people think they're manifesting their will, but they're just bound to the desires of their body. They wake up every day doing what their body wants to be done, whether it's sex, chasing money, being entertained. Guess what the ancestors was trying to teach about overcoming Satan's temptation was saying a proper soul is able to make actions solely based upon pure thought and pure soul. We don't make actions like that today. We make actions that's often tainted by the desires of our body through lust, and all of that taint a lot of our actions, right? Some people may choose a career field that they don't even like, but they know it make a lot of money, and they have these fantasies of balling out and doing things in the flesh, right? And they'll never find happiness, which is why rich people kill themselves. They are bound to what their body want them to do. You will not find satisfaction being a slave to your flesh. The satisfaction is when we start making decisions based upon pure mind, power, and soul, separate from the will of the body. If you can make decisions like that, then you will be making like high God-like decisions that's coming directly from the higher self. But when the higher self want to manifest something, it got to do it through the body. And by the time the message gets sent through the body, it's distorted, because the body start changing the message to say, but I got to eat though. I got to feed my family. Hold up. What that girl going to say about me? What my home is going to say about me? When the soul gives the body a mission, the body very seldom carry the mission out to success, because the body end up getting sidetracked for what it wants to do along the process. And this was what the ancestors was trying to master. They were trying to have pure thoughts, because the thoughts are the source of our actions. With pure thoughts, you can make pure choices or manifest pure actions, or what they said, live with less regrets. The regrets come from you doing something that your body wanted you to do, and your soul saying that was stupid. But at the time, you didn't think it was stupid because your body was screaming so loud that this had to be done. And the body is it's hardly ever right, which is why the body must be accompanied with the soul. What would the body do without the soul? Eat, sleep, shit, fuck, laugh, and be entertained. That's it. You see how earthly and secular the body is when you just take the soul out of it? Now, when you put the soul in the body now loves, hates, it feels, it questions, it thinks. But a body without a soul is like a robot that's just shitting, pooping, farting, and just doing what the natural biological processes. And what would be the need for a body without the soul? You see, this will let you see the purpose of the soul even being in the body. When you buy your child a car, you got to teach your child how to drive the car. So your body is your soul's very first car. And when you're teaching a child how to drive, it is confusion, and you're going to bump into a lot of things. And so your soul is a child learning how to drive this new car called a body. And it's all over the damn road, man. It's a maniac, right? But it's going to get it together, and it'll drive straight. You want to know why your soul can't get to where it's trying to go? Because your body it ain't a good driver. I mean, your body is a car. The soul is the driver. The soul ain't going to go to heaven right away, because the soul got to learn how to drive first, man. So when you buy your child a car and you tell them, look, go to the store, they can't. but I bought you a car, but you didn't teach me how to drive it yet. So the soul have a destination. In order for it to get to heaven, it got to drive itself up the mountain in this car called a body. But the reason why the soul is lingering at the bottom of this mountain going in circles is because it figured it'll learn how to drive by going round and round and before it try to go up. Don't that make sense? This is the Hindu explaining reincarnation and the process of self learning and like mastering the self and enlightenment. The earth realm is like the valley at the base of a mountain. The mountain is heaven. People are just driving around this mountain in circles. They call them lifetimes, but they're trying to learn how to drive because no one want to start their journey driving up the mountain and you don't know how to drive. That can cause you your life. You want to practice that on the ground. And that's what the earth is. This ain't our destination. Our destination is the top of the mountain, but we're baby drivers who haven't even began our journey yet because we going around in circles in kindergarten at the bottom of the mountain on the earth realm. And once we get this car right and wrestle this body down here like what Jesus did, then we can climb Mount Calvary like Jesus did. You see what I'm saying? Him defeating Satan is like this child saying, I have tamed my car. Think about it like a horse. Before cars, you buy your son a horse, right? Your son learning how to ride the horse lies in your son taming the horse. The horse got to respect your son. The horse got to fear its driver. Otherwise, it ain't going to listen to you. So if you look at horse driving, that'll work a little bit better of like versus the car because like if you got to learn how to ride a horse, the horse really ride itself. You don't got to drive it like a car. It drives you. Right? It's carrying you, right? You ain't hitting no steering wheel. But your ability to master the horse is for it to listen to you. It's a command for left, a command for right, a command for stop, a command for go. You don't got to train and tame your car. You simply got to learn how to drive it. The horse don't drive you, but you got to tame it. We used to have to tame horses. Now we got to learn how to drive cars, which is what we traded taming a horse for. You didn't have to learn how to drive a horse. You just learned to tame it. It'll drive you when you tame it. So now that we don't have to tame horses, we just learn how to drive cars, which would be another way of saying you taming a horse. But the whole point of me bringing that up is your body is a vehicle for your soul. And to get up this mountain, you're going to have to take 7 different cars because you're going to drive one of these bodies to a certain threshold and it ain't going to be able to carry you no further. And you're going to have to cross over your consciousness into your other body and drive it, your other car. And it's going to take you to a certain level of the mountain and you got to swap cars or bodies again. The Hindu said you're going to go up that mountain, you're going to swap cars 7 times before you get to the top, which is heaven. But like I'm telling you, before you even start climbing the mountain, you just going to go in circles at the bottom first. That's the start of the journey, the earth realm. In other words, you haven't even began your ascent yet. You won't start till you die. This is what you call learning how to drive. And once you learn how to drive, then you will start your ascent up the mountain. But people may reincarnate to this earth realm a couple of times before they even begin their ascension journey. You don't even start the path of ascension without the knowledge of self, aka the knowledge of how to drive the body, the knowledge of how to, what they call train your dragon. I think that's the name of this little cartoon or animation, train your dragon. This is an old concept, man. This ain't nothing new. People been saying, in order for your body to get you to where you're supposed to go, because it is a vehicle for your soul, you got to tame it just like a horseman. That horse ain't going to take you nowhere but in circles until you tame it. And when that horse start to respect you, you can tell it where you want to go. It'll take you there. You tame it. Your body will not function properly for you to manifest your best reality until your body start respecting you enough to say, I can't get that nigga to cheat on his wife. I already know he ain't going to do it. See, the more you give in to your body, the more that your body work against your true purpose. You're training your body on what to want and what not to want. So for example, right? If you won't resist temptation, and you keep hitting cigarettes, you're going to be craving cigarettes. You're going to be addicted to cigarettes. Your body going to make you want to smoke a cigarette. But if you go against the will of Satan, against your body, if you say, you know what, I don't care what you want, body, you ain't getting it. When I stopped smoking cigarettes, I was depressed. My body was yelling at me saying, please give me a cigarette. But my mind was stronger than the matter, mind over matter. Even though my body was cussing me out saying, man, that's some bullshit. No cigarettes, nigga, for real. The withdrawals, y'all, was crazy. My body was beating my ass. But guess what? My body was being starved out. You reach a point where, guess what? My body don't even want cigarettes no more. In fact, if you smoke a cigarette around me, I'm going to walk out the room. I don't even like the smell of them no more. Why? I train my dragon. My dragon don't tell me what it want. I tell it what it's supposed to want and not want. And if you ain't doing that with your body, you ain't even fighting this war of good and evil. See, the desires of your flesh are not yours. They are what society told you to crave and want. I don't know if you over-sexual or what your vices may be, but they're not yours. They are programmed desires. And you cannot accomplish what you want to do until you reprogram your body away from the temptations and desires that our society been programming in us since a child. When these children grow up, the parents gonna look stupid like, why my baby so freaky? Why my daughter out there twerking all like that every day? You don't see how you're subtly programming them since a baby by how this society put that in them, and later that's gonna become demons and dragons that they're gonna have to kill. Just like me, I like to drink. Now, I'm not no alcoholic, but I do like to have me a beer, something to drink every now and then. Guess what? When I was coming up, none of the adults in my life thought that alcohol was a bad thing. Long as you drink responsibly, it's okay. And if you're of age. So if you do become an alcoholic, that would be a result of societal norms that just came into your life since your upbringing. They're so subtle. You don't even know they're there till you start saying, I want to master myself. Then you be like, oh shit, I got to remove that, take that off, take that off. You start self-examining. So you realize most of the work you got to do on yourself ain't even shit you did to yourself. It's shit society programmed in you since a baby. And that's what the Matrix is. It's creating a false version of the self. Most people living in this earth, they never manifested their true version, which is why they have to reincarnate. People got to reincarnate because they live their whole life and they are a false version of themselves based upon what society programmed them to be. They never walk this earth one day being who they truly are at the core of themselves. This is why you see all the monks isolating themselves from all outer worldly influences, because they want to discover who they are inside without any worldly influences distorting, appearing as real as who they are, right? So that's the point of going into solo isolation meditation and withdrawing from the world, as the Bible say. Because the world gonna tell you what to like, what to desire, who you are, what you hate, what you love. The world gonna give you a version of yourself that's not really you. And if you're not careful, you will merge with that version of yourself, that simulation of yourself, and you will keep that sim running. You will live out this version of you that the world created for you. And most of us, and that version of you that the world created for you, that's called the ego, which is why the Bible say come out of Egypt